Welcome in to the high school OT post-game show presented by Talk It Out NC. Evan Moesta here live from Keenan Stadium on the campus of UNC here in Chapel Hill. The 1A state champion has been crowned, and the first state championship of this fall did not disappoint. Wilson Prep is your 1A state champions. Ethan Nelson hits a game-winning field goal tonight with 20 seconds left in regulation to send the Tigers past Robbinsville 9-8. Here on the post-game show presented by Talk It Out NC, we will hear from the victorious Wilson Prep Tigers, and we will also hear from the Robbinsville Black Knights. They are preparing right now for those press conferences, which we will bring to you live. But my goodness, what a finish to kick off this championship weekend. It was Wilson Prep who struck first in this one. They get up 6-0 late in the second quarter. Robbinsville stakes a comeback instantly. They respond with a drive to take a 8-6 lead into the halftime break, and the Black Knights defense holds for almost the entirety of the game. They hold all the way up until 25 seconds left. A pair of penalties pushes Wilson Prep back from the 1-yard line on fourth down. It pushes them back 10 yards. It did not matter for Nelson. He's a do-it-all athlete in a program that does not often kick field goals. Nelson is called upon by Coach Phil Dickens, and tonight he delivers an incredible finish in this one. The MVP of the state championship is Trayvon Usher, the quarterback, the do-it-all athlete for Wilson Prep. He was banged up, he was bruised, he went through everything tonight to help guide his team to a state championship. Hopefully Joel Bryant will be able to join us here before the 8A game gets kicked off. Right now, if you can see behind me here at Keenan Stadium, they have begun to warm up for that game. But it was Usher who, on that final drive with less than 5 minutes left, pulls the Tigers across midfield and orchestrates what ends up being the state championship winning drive for Wilson Prep. And Usher, he did it with his legs, as he has all season. He breaks off a big run early in this game, but then the offense spread open. He found gaps to find ways to push the ball upfield. There were a lot of key third and fourth down conversions, things that Wilson Prep was not getting in that third quarter, and for most of that fourth quarter when they were down 8-6. All of a sudden, the plays started to stack up, and it was just enough, and you have to give a lot of credit to Wilson Prep head coach Phil Dickens, who comes through, makes the, that's a huge call there to go with your field goal unit when you don't typically rely upon them, and to do it in your biggest moment of the season says a lot about Phil Dickens' trust in his team, and especially Ethan Nelson. Let's get to the highlights in this one. As I mentioned from the get-go, there were some big plays early in this game. Both sides in the first quarter, despite a scoreless first quarter, rattled off some big momentum shifting plays. But one of the key things for Robbinsville in this game is that they suffered a couple of early injuries, and it kind of put them behind the ball offensively. There you see Nelson setting up what is the opening scoring drive for Wilson Prep. That's in the second quarter. Nelson flips the field with a huge run inside of the 10-yard line. It sets the stage for Usher. He drops back and puts one right into the bucket for Nazir Vines. Vines, the beautiful catch. That puts Wilson Prep up 6-0 in the second quarter. But like I said, Robbinsville, they answer right back. They rattle off a big passing play. Luke Lovin going deep inside of the 5. And that sets the stage for Isaac Collins to give Robbinsville its lone lead of the night. Again, this is a lead that held for most of this state championship as Collins rumbles in the final moments of the second quarter. The 2-point conversion is successful, and that pushes the Black Knights ahead 8-6. But that was until this field goal by Ethan Nelson clinches a state championship for Wilson Prep. 20 seconds left on the clock. It was a 27-yard try by Nelson, and it was pure. Robbinsville had one final opportunity in this one to come back and potentially win the game. But it did not take long for the Wilson Prep defense to ride its momentum. And how about this? Coach Dickens' son Manny coming up with the game-winning interception there in the final seconds. An 8-6 1A state championship victory for Wilson Prep. They had to battle in this one. There were a lot of penalties that plagued the Tigers throughout this game, but when it mattered, the game-winning drive with less than 5 minutes to go, they pick up the 9-8 victory over Robbinsville. Again, Evan Moesta here, joining you on the High School OT post-game show presented by Talk It Out NC. There's never a bad time to start the conversation to stop underage drinking. You can visit talkitoutnc.org. That's talkitoutnc.org. You can get all of the resources and the tools that you need to start that conversation today. We're going to take a quick break here on the High School OT post-game show. When we come back, we will bring you the press conferences live for both Wilson Prep and Robbinsville. You're tuned into the High School OT post-game show.
Your child pours their heart and soul into their dreams.
You're so ready for this.
But underage drinking can stop a young mind and body from performing at its best.
Okay, everyone, it's time.
Yeah! We're ready.
Make sure your star keeps shining. Start the conversation about the dangers of alcohol with tips at talkitoutnc.org.
Get the Triangle Sports Leader anytime, anywhere with the new app from 99.9 The Fan. If it's live on The Fan, you can listen on the app. Plus, all your favorite podcasts at your fingertips. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
Raising kids is a roller coaster. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry, but most times you wonder how your kid turned out so well. That's how. You did the hard work, made the right decisions, like talking about alcohol before it could be a problem. Go to talkitoutnc.org. Get resources on how to talk about underage drinking. So Mom, Dad, keep up the good work. It's worth it. Talk early. Talk often. Talk it out, NC.
Welcome back to the High School OT postgame show presented by Talk It Out NC. Evan Moesta with you live here from Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Again, the 1A state championship just wrapped up. It is a 9-6 thrilling victory in the final seconds for Wilson Prep. They defeat Robbinsville 9-8. Ethan Nelson hits a game-winning field goal with 20 seconds to go in this one. We're still waiting on the teams. Obviously a very emotional and a very exciting moment when you win a state championship in this fashion. You get the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat as well for a Robbinsville program that was in pursuit of its 15th NCHSA football state championship. That is the first for Wilson Prep, a program that started up just 4 years ago. Now they are 1A state champions. This Wilson Prep program, mind you, opened this season 0-4. At one point they were 1-5. Since then, they rattle off 8 straight victories. They run through the 1A East as a 4 seed, and now they sit here as state champions. Still monitoring the situation down in the press conference room right now. We hope to get you down there in just a second for that press conference as Wilson Prep is preparing to take the podium. Again, behind us right now is the 8A state championship. That is going to put Millbrook up against Huff. If you did not tune into the High School OT pregame show presented by Alpaca Peruvian Chicken, Joel Bryant and myself broke that one down. This is a thrilling one. We speak about Wilson Prep playing in its first state championship game. These are two teams that are also playing for their first state title. Millbrook has not been there in their over 100 years of existence, and in over 15 years of existence, Huff, who has continually knocked on the door of qualifying for a state championship. They are finally here. Both teams are 13-0. Both teams have 2 of the top defenses in the state of North Carolina, so this should be a really exciting one to get into in just a few minutes. When that game is over and the final trophies are handed out, we will have live coverage again here on the post-game show with press conferences and more analysis. Joel Bryant will hopefully join us from that one as well. If you go to highschoolot.com right now, Everything you need to know about these state championships is there. Roster breakdowns, statistics, where you can watch the game live on TV, and if you can't, you can tune into our live blog. Joel Bryan is up here in the press box throughout the game, updating it play-by-play with analysis and everything that is going on in all of these state championship games. High School OT will have continued coverage throughout the week. There are 2 games today, 1 already in the books. We will be back here tomorrow at Kenan Stadium. That is where the 6A state championship kicks off at 4 o'clock tomorrow between Middle Creek and Watauga. Following that will be the 7A state championship featuring Clayton and Grimsley. This state championship weekend then shifts over on Saturday to the campus of Lenoir-Rhyne University in Hickory. That is where the 4A and the 2A state titles will be played. And then in Durham County is where 3 and 5A are being played. Again, we're trying to monitor here the press conference situation as the teams are trying to get in here. Hang with us just a second here, trying to Again, your final score here, Wilson Prep 9, Robbinsville 8, a last-second field goal here. We're going to take one more break, come back, see if we can't get these teams out to the podium and let you hear their thoughts on this state championship. Again, you're tuned in to the High School OT postgame show presented by Talk It Out NC.
Your child pours their heart and soul into their dreams.
You're so ready for this.
But underage drinking can stop a young mind and body from performing at its best.
Okay, everyone, it's time.
We're ready.
Make sure your star keeps shining. Start the conversation about the dangers of alcohol with tips at talkitoutnc.org.
Get the Triangle Sports Leader anytime, anywhere with the new app from 99.9 The Fan. If it's live on The Fan, you can listen on the app. Plus, all your favorite podcasts at your fingertips. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
Raising kids is a roller coaster. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry. But most times you wonder how your kid turned out so well. That's how. You did the hard work, made the right decisions, like talking about alcohol before it could be a problem. Go to talkitoutnc.org. Get resources on how to talk about underage drinking. So Mom, Dad, keep up the good work. It's worth it. Talk early. Talk often. Talk It Out NC.
Welcome back to the High School OT postgame show presented by Talk It Out NC. There's never a bad time to start the conversation to stop underage drinking. Visit talkitoutnc.org to get the resources that you need to start that conversation today. Evan Moesta here with you live from Keenan Stadium on the campus of the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. Wilson Prep just wrapped up their 9-8 1A state championship victory over Robbinsville. The Tigers have gone to the podium. Let's hear from them in their post-game press conference.
Hey, that's the first field goal we've attempted all year.
I was about to ask that.
Ever this season. All season.
Have you ever tried to
I practice every day.
Years ago. But I told him today that we needed to practice the field goal unit because I felt we were going to need it.
You told him that today.
Did I not tell you that?
Yeah. What he said was the field goal where the special team is going to win the game.
There you go. Well, he was right, and congratulations to the 1A state champions, the first football state champions, the 2025 season. Coach, if you would, you just start us off with kind of how you're feeling right now in this moment.
Man, God is good. That's all I can say. It's been a rough season. We scheduled the toughest schedule in North Carolina, and you check what the other guys that we played are doing. It was the toughest, and them first 5 or 6 games was crazy. Everybody was turning on us. Everybody, even the people that were wearing the same kind of shirts we were wearing. But you know, I knew we had an expected end. Every night after the game, and Mr. Ham would come and sit in there with me a lot and interview me. But I keep a scripture in my desk drawer. It's Jeremiah 29:11, talking about an expected end, and I expected us to be here. And these guys believed. They believed, and man, I'm just grateful. I am grateful.
We'll take questions.
So, the field goal, lots of things you can do there, right? So Trayvon's been kind of running them over throughout the whole fourth quarter. You decided to bring Ethan out there after the delayed game. What were you weighing there? And then just ultimately, what made you pull the trigger on that?
Well, my son was in my ear when it was first down, field goal. And I felt that my guys would dig deep and get us in there. And the 2 delay games made it almost impossible because they got a heck of a defense. And I trust Ethan. I trust him with my life. And he came through for us. And hey, I'm just grateful.
And then with Manny getting the ceiling interception, what was that like for you?
Hey, man, you know, Manny has sacrificed more than anybody on our team all 4 years because I showed no favoritism because he was my son.
That's why he's so small.
That's he don't eat. That's his problem. But he has sacrificed all season. I think it was at Northside Pinetown. I poured him from safety. Went with Taquan Whitaker because Taquan tracked the ball a lot better, and Manny was dealing with the other shoulder. And he told me at halftime, Daddy, do what you got to do. We got to win. It don't matter to me. I just want to win. And that's the winner's attitude, you know. So it was fitting, man. I told him that God was going to bless him for his sacrifice, and he did. He sealed the game for us.
So how much discussion was there before y'all decided on the field goal?
It was none. It was just last minute.
He told you to...
He had been behind me talking about field goal. I think I told him shut up. And you know, it was just a blessing that we took that chance. And
why did you go for it?
What's that?
Why did you go for it?
What, the field goal?
Instead of running play or whatever.
Man, Darryl would have killed me.
Huh?
Darryl would have killed me.
Come on.
No, again, Ethan has one of the best legs around here when he's healthy. Ain't no doubt about it. And all in practice the other day, he was nailing them from every hash. And again, I trust him, man. These guys been with me 4 years. They didn't pack up and run to bigger programs or programs that they thought was bigger. They stuck it out. And, you know, people tried to buy them. But, you know, they stayed put. And it's just fitting that they go out like this.
Who snapped?
Who snapped on there? I believe Reggie Holmes, 79. Reginald Holmes, 79.
Number 79?
Yes, sir.
Who held?
Tay. Tay
Barnes.
Number
What was his
7.
number?
7.
7.
Yes, sir. To Zion Barnes.
Y'all ever try to field goal ever at Wilson Prep?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like our ninth grade. We have in the past years, but this year we ain't never kicked.
In the 9th grade?
About near. No, my last time I remember. Yes, sir.
They're awesome. Okay, so what did you think when you learned you were going to be kicking the field goal?
You say, can you repeat that question again, please?
You said what?
Repeat that question again, please.
What did you think when you found out you were going to be kicking the field goal?
Definitely just finish. Just finish, because we do hash-to-hash kicks every day in practice, you know, so that's not nothing that's being missed. And Coach always said, you know, what happens in practice going to translate over to the game. And number 4 was able to finish the job with the kick.
Can you replay what was going through you emotionally?
Definitely. Definitely. Okay. Coming from them 2 penalties, like, it was a lot of noise, I can say. And eyes were supposed to be on the clock. Our eyes weren't there. We got moved back twice, so it was just like really just finished. The clock was going down. And the snap was good. The hold was good. You know, the line stepped down, did their responsibility, and I just nailed the kid. Sir.
Trayvon, you were kind of willing to see him down there on that last drive when you guys were spreading them out. He was just killing him with his legs. So, we saw you kind of wincing after some plays because you were getting hit hard. But just kind of describe your mentality that last drive. What were you seeing out there to allow you to make all those scrambles?
Coach said 1-2. If I don't see it, take off. He trusts me to take off, so I took off every chance I had.
And Coach, just everything he did, all facets of the game, he forced a couple of fumbles, and just what he was able to do in the 4th quarter on offense. Just people from Wilson know about him, but it's kind of tell the state about why he's so special.
Hey man, it blows my mind that he didn't sign a couple weeks ago when everybody was signing. Trayvon is one of the best backs in the state. He can play linebacker, he can do it all. 26 ACT, 3.7 GPA. It's amazing. 1,800 yards on a broken foot. Broke his foot against Clayton. We didn't know it till last week and been playing on it. He's a warrior. And any of the coaches, schools out there listening, don't pass this guy up. He's a warrior. And that's the blessing. I got 3 warriors up here. All these boys have been playing through injury. You almost had to shoot them to get them off the field. So Wilson Prep has definitely been blessed with him.
Coach, I got a question for you. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. My man.
Yeah, congratulations. I got bringing this trophy back to Wilson. How y'all started the season. Talk about that a little bit as far as how this feels to win this championship.
You talking about how you didn't interview me after Green Sun?
Yes.
No, it's an inside joke. It's a blessing because we made history.
Yeah.
Not just the first charter school to ever win, public charter, to win a state championship, but the city of Wilson. Wilson Prep has caught a little rough time in Wilson. We're not able to play the public schools. What we always hear is the higher-ups won't let us play them. But, man, I'm really happy for Juan Jackson and Hunt. But we brought it back first, and that was it. I'm pulling for them. I'm going to the game.
You staying overnight?
We're first, sir.
You staying overnight?
When I go.
Staying overnight and wait for Saturday?
No, sir. I got to go to work. No, I'm working for Darrell with it. I got to be there at 8 o'clock.
You've been mighty kind to him tonight.
Yes, I have. I get paid after this game.
Trayvon, you guys struggled to get to sustain drives in the first half. You had a couple of big plays, but you struggled to really sustain drives. Second half, you guys really kind of started clicking at times. What were you guys? What were the halftime adjustments? What did you guys talk about? What did you start doing in the second half that you weren't able to do in the first half?
There really weren't no halftime adjustments. We always knew that we were a second half team. The team always, every game, they stick with us at the beginning. Halftime come, we kill them. We know. Coach tell us every day, jingle jangle, jingle jangle, jingle jangle, jingle jangle. We gonna outlast them. So we don't got no choice but to go out there and play hard second half and finish the job.
Coach Dickens, we heard from you at the on Monday at the banquet or asking questions to you. You talked about the start that you guys had, starting off 1-5, I believe. What gave you the resolve and gave you the confidence that these guys would push through and ultimately finish the season the way you guys did?
Well, the schedule that we had, you look at it, I knew if we survived the rough times that the game would slow down for us. And when we got to conference play, the kids, they woke up and saw that, man, this thing is real. This thing is real. And I just believe in what we had, because if you go back and look at those games, we lost those games due to immaturity. We started 5 freshmen, 3 of them had never been. When they came to us in July, and there was a lack of discipline that came from the youth. So I knew after we played Northeastern and muffed the punt, which caused them to win that game, I knew we had something special. And, we come back the next week and give it to Southwest Edgecombe. But I knew how good we were. We just had to pull it all together.
Sir. Coach, was Robbinsville everything you thought they'd be?
Everything. I met their coach at the clinic, God-fearing man, great spirit. But I watched them on film. They was well coached. And defensively, they were there. And I knew it was going to be tough. But they are, as advertised. I mean, it's a storied program. You expect that from a storied program. And my hat's off to them also.
Coach Dickens, what was the key to your success defensively? Because you guys had some big stops in the second quarter, especially when Robbinsville was getting down, deep in your territory. You had the tackle on the fake punt here in the fourth quarter. What was the key to the defense just staying the course, staying aggressive and physical all game?
James West, Coach James West, my D coordinator. I gave him his first job when I was coaching at Northern Nash. And we've been together ever since. But our defense has played well all year. And the key has just been putting them in the right place. We looked at film, I forgot who it was that beat them, Murphy or someone, whoever. The teams that beat them covered the center. Mm-hmm. So we went with a 50 to cover the center, and that caused them problems all night.
Coach, what is your favorite scripture, and how did it lead into this game?
My favorite scripture is Mark 11:22. When you pray, if you believe, then it's already done. So we believed. I knew we just had to show up, and the game would be done. A lot of people call it cocky, but when you're made in His image and His likeness, you expect greatness, and that's what I teach to my kids.
Coach, second half, Robbinsville did nothing. And I think Trayvon said, y'all didn't make any adjustments?
No, sir. We knew they had given us, offensively, they had given us all they had. We knew that. We knew their plays before they ran it. We spent that much time in film. And, they were confident. They didn't change up a lot. I didn't think we would come out of beast tonight, but they brought me out of it. I sampled with some wing tee. I sampled with some spread. I had to find what was going to work. I want to be stubborn and try to will it. We made adjustments.
Manny, this moment, this championship with your father, obviously Ethan's going to remember that kick the rest of his life, right? But winning with your dad is a moment for you and your family. Can you just kind of describe what it means for you?
I would say, honestly, first off, it's a blessing to be in this place. Even from, day one, he put me in the best place for me to thrive in. I feel like, honestly, I started playing kind of at, a later time than everybody else. So, he just helped me kind of, get where I'm at, helped me achieve, and now we're here. So, honestly, it's a blessing to be here with him and win.
In Trayvon, in the fourth, that last drive, I don't know whether you faked or what, but you were wide open on the right side of the field. How did that happen?
I think I told my guys, Coach called a play, but Coach always told me if I knew what to do, I can call it. I told all the guys just run straight down the field, and everybody went with the guys. So I took off, and the whole side of the field was wide open. So I was just
you called the play?
Yeah, I told him. I said 9-9-9-9. Call out 5-9. Run them off. Yeah.
Well, guys, we really appreciate you coming and answering some questions. Congratulations on a great season and your state championship.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Oh, my goodness.
You guys said that was your first field goal
in probably 3 years. I think I tried it my first year.
Hey, I do think
first charter school ever. No, sir. We always go for 2. Always.
That is your 1A state champion, the Wilson Prep Tigers, a 9-8 victory tonight on Ethan Nelson's game-winning field goal against Robbinsville. As you see behind me, Millbrook and Huff are less than 30 minutes away from kickoff. That's going to do it for us on this edition of the High School OT postgame show presented by Talk It Out NC. We will be back live once this game concludes. If you want to watch the Robbinsville press conference and this Wilson Prep one in its entirety, you can tonight on highschoolot.com, where the story is already up. You will have highlights, photos, full coverage from all of these high school state championships this weekend. For Evan Moesta and our partners over at Talk It Out NC, we will see you at the conclusion of this 8A state championship.